Hello and a very good morning to all of you who are joining us from various parts of the world. Welcome to ICC Live, World-Class Culinary Online. Today, we have an interesting session on French butter, the secret to enhance flavor. I would now like to hand over to our course director, Shanaz Raja from the ICC Dubai. Over to you, Shanaz.
Thank you, Karun. Hello, everyone. I'm Shanaz Raja, the Director of Courses here at the International Center for Culinary Arts in Dubai, an internationally renowned vocational education training center delivering professional and personal education in cookery, bakery, and patisserie. I'm happy to welcome all of you to this training session on French butter, during which we will discover some of the main technical uses of French butter, and especially French butter. Butter, as you might know, is a remarkable flavor enhancer, and there are a lot of ways you can use it in your cooking. Chef Christophe, a French chef and an ardent ambassador of French gastronomy, will introduce you to some techniques of using French butter to bring out the best in your food and to make it a must-have in your kitchen. During this session, Chef Christophe will have a few questions for you which will pop up as polls. And if you have any questions for Chef Christophe, do type them into your chat and I will take it up with him for you. Do attend the entire session so we can give you a certificate at the end. Over to you, Chef Christophe.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you, Karen. Thank you very much, Shanaz. Hi everyone. Welcome in my kitchen. I'm in France now. We are going to work with butter. I've got some butter in front of me. Probably some of them you already know, like Elevire or President or Lycée Paysan Breton. This one is organic one, President as well. And then I got here two different butter, Isigny and Poitou-Charentes, which are areas in France. In fact, they are the main ingredients we use in our kitchen in France. But first of all, what is butter? Because everybody can buy a packet of butter, but what is it? Butter is something very, very simple. It's 100% natural dairy fat. What it is? You take a cow, with the cow you make some milk. On the milk, you will have some cream on the top. Naturally, it proceeds. And you take the cream, you churn it, and it ended up like butter. I mean, it's as simple as that. In France, we are making butter. I mean, we didn't change anything since ages. We do butter like my grandfather used to do butter. For 1 kilogram of butter, I need 22 liters of milk. It means it's a huge amount of milk to make a small amount of butter. 100% natural. I insist on that because it's very important. And butter is an emulsion. We will see later on what is exactly in butter so we can understand how we're going to work with it. I just wanted to show you that one compared to that one, because this one is unsalted butter and this one is sea salted butter. In France, we've got 3 different butters. Wow, a little bit more, but say we're going to have 3. Unsalted, half salted, and salted. It just changed the flavor, and it changed sometimes on that one, for example, you've got some little tiny salt crystals, so it's crunchy, it's very nice. We got that. What are we going to do with it? First of all, if so many chefs around the world use butter, it's because it's a magic flavor enhancer. I mean, everything you're going to cook with butter, take another texture, another taste. It's so shiny, it's something very magic. It's 100% natural and magic. Beautiful, no? So we're going to work together for 5 techniques. I will show you how to use the butter in different techniques. And to finish with doing the dish we did today, I got only 3 techniques around there because the first one, the sauce, we're going to make it together. Glazed carrots, the salmon, and my coupon butter. So maybe we can start by the planning of what we're going to do today. I'll do that. I've did it earlier, and I'm doing that for you, with you. I will ask you a few questions, answer to the questions, and please feel free to speak about whatever you want about butter and ask everything you want. Shanaz will ask me the question, and hopefully I can answer. We can start maybe with the first thing with butter, but before, I have to say that everything I'm going to do with you for the next 45 minutes is with butter. No substitute, nothing looks like butter, only real French butter. It's very important. Maybe you will ask me some question about that, but with butter, it works. Everything I'm going to show you works with butter for the taste, for the flavor, for the color, whatever. If you use substitute, it won't work as well as with butter, and some of the techniques won't work at all. So we are talking only on butter and French butter and plain butter. First technique we are going on is using butter on different stages. If you see here, that's my butter. It's hard. I mean, we've got some hard butter there. Then we can soften it. We will see that later on, and then we can start to cook it. The first stage will be like that. So we've got 3 different parts in the butter, exactly like that. So this is that. In my butter, I told you it's an emulsion. In butter, we've got 82% fat. It's very important. Remember these figures, 82% fat in the butter. When I will eat it very slowly, it will melt like that. And you remember earlier I told you it's an emulsion. It's an emulsion with proteins like this, casein, which will go on the top, and with buttermilk, which will be underneath. So I mean, my butter is actually like that. Then I remove that, and I've got my 82% of fat. How do I do that? It's very, very simple. You start the heat, and you eat it very gently, very, very slow. Slowly, takes time, and don't shake it, because as an emulsion, if you shake it, you carry on doing the emulsion. So you leave it to cook like that, very slowly. It will melt, and then come liquid, and then you will find this on the bottom, this on the top. Remove it, and take only that. Butter like that is used for sauce. We will see it later on, to make shining on the fish or on the meat, and it helps to stay a little bit longer. It keeps butter a bit longer, and it goes as well for temperature. We'll see that later on. This is clarified butter. I think you know that already. I'll show you another one, which is that one. That one is what we call in French beurre noisette. In English, roasted butter, but what it means in French is hazelnut roasted butter. There's no hazelnut in it at all, but it takes the color, the smell, and a little nutty taste. It's very handy to give taste to mashed potatoes, to pancakes, beautiful with pancakes. I will show you how to do that. So remember I told you, you melt very slowly. That's what it makes. You can see the white on the top. Here it is. And if I carry on like that, I will end up with that. I'll show you how to make this one, because that one I think you know already. We go for roasted butter. Roasted butter is a bit different. We want to remove the buttermilk as well, but with another techniques. We will cook it. So I put the heat a bit higher, and how do I have this color and this taste? It's simple. The 82% of fat which are there will always be there. But the water, as I'm cooking it, look, you can see the foam is going out. That is the water. It's removing the water by the heat. And as you can see, I got something white on the top, which is casein, protein. And come back. And this will start to cook in the butter and give this nutty flavor. A good taste to know if it's done. I'm going to be silent, and you will try to listen to my butter. If you can still hear the noise of the water bubbling and going out, the butter is not roasted properly. Keep it, and you will see that very quickly. You remember I showed you it was very white. It's a bit more yellow. There's not white as well. So carry on a little bit. you can hear noise. Cooking with all your senses, I mean, with butter is very important because temperature makes sounds. So I'm removing the water, and my 82% of fat will be there with cooked protein in it. Still hear the butter, so it's not done already. Can you hear it? It's go smaller and smaller. If you can look at it, start to be black, brown, golden brown, and there's no white left, and my butter is changing color. We're nearly there. No more noise. So finish, and my butter is done. And here I've got hazelnut butter, roasted butter, exactly that one. Here we are. Put that aside. And it's finished. I did my roasted butter, so I got my 82% of fat, which are cooked, and took the taste of what is in the butter, which is this one is removed, which is that one. Okay, so 82% of fat. I can do very slowly clarified butter or cook it properly to give another taste, roasted butter. I think we can put the slide on to remember what we just did.
Chef, yes. So before we go to that slide, we've got a number of new people who've joined us.
Okay.
I will just put on the introduction slide, and you can just list out the techniques that you're doing today for the new people who've joined us. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So hello everyone, welcome. So I'm in France. I'm in my kitchen. I'm with you, and we're going to work with butter. What you got on the screen is exactly what we're going to do now. We just did the clarified butter and roasted butter. Very easy. It's the beginning of working with butter. Then we carry on. We're going to do emulsified sauce, confit salmon, Copper butter, and glazed carrots. I will explain to you technical uses of butter. And I remind you, I'm working only with natural, 100% natural, real butter, no substitute at all. So we just did that. We took some butter and heated it very gently. Then we had the 82% of fat which are in the butter. It's an emulsion between water and butter. We've got 82% of fat. When you cook it very slowly, you've got beurre clarified butter. When you cook it a bit higher, you start to cook it and it takes the hazelnut taste and the hazelnut color. We call it roasted butter or beurre noisette in French.
So what we can do now is put your question out to them. I'm going to put your question out to them.
Yeah.
So it will come to you as a poll. And the question is, real dairy butter is composed of. So this will tell us, Chef, if they're listening to you or not.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
they've been paying attention. Okay, this group is fabulous. All of them have said 82% fat.
Oh.
The entire group. That's a very
group. Very good group. Perfect.
This is the first group that has done this actually, because every time the answers are distributed, but this time they're all 100%, 82% fat. Very good.
They are beautiful. They are very right, and it's very important when you cook to remember some numbers. I mean, I'm not a scientist, but there's some numbers you have to remember because you can work on it, like the 82% on. After I give you some temperature and things like that, it's very important because it helps you to understand what you are doing, and then you can play with it. So if you don't know some numbers, it's a bit tricky to work on. Shall I go on the next stage, Sharon, or do we have some questions?
I think we'll go forward, Chef, and I'll just I'll go back to the chat, check the questions, and bring them up with you later. We'll just go to the next technique now.
Okay, perfect. So we've seen how to make clarified butter. I will show you one of the technical use of clarified butter. It says emulsified sauce. To make emulsified sauce, it's very easy. Just a few important things to check. First, I put on egg yolks. This is egg yolks. I will add very little water. The quantity, when you work in the kitchen and you work like, it's 1 spoon of water for 2 egg yolks. Then you put it on the heat and you will whisk it. We put some air on the stuff so it go fluffy. I told you a few seconds that some numbers are very important. Eggs with water are cooked in 84 degrees. So I cannot go that high. I will have to put my hand on, and as long as my hands can stay on the pan, no problem. So if you see there, it's very liquid. I do it in 8 like that, because that way I go everywhere in my pan. So there's no little part on this it can burn. So I go on whisking 8 like that. And here on my whisk, I got the last one, this one. Can you see it? That one must be like this. So this way it go on the corner. If you do like that, and you go like that, here, there's something missing and it's burnt there. So I'm working like an apprentice. Okay, so back on the fire. And here we go. You remember how it was at the beginning? Look, it's not really done. I know it's done when I do that, I can see the bottom of my pan. If it's a bit too hot, just remove it from the heat and carry on. As you can see, I can see the bottom of my pan, but I will carry on a little bit to make it a bit fluffier. So the base of my emulsified sauce is done. It's eggs like sabayon with water. It tastes eggs, that's all. I will now add my clarified butter very slowly, because if I put butter and eggs, it won't mix together naturally. So I have to make it with my whisk. It's like making mayonnaise. My sauce is nearly done. There's one thing to do to give it a bit more taste, because the butter gives the texture, the smooth texture in your mouth. It will mate perfectly well. The taste is very good, but two things missing. As it's for fish, little bit of lemon, just to give a little bit of acidity that go very well with fish. And then I will put some salt. And I'm using chili powder, cayenne chili, just because, very small, because if I put black pepper on it, it will be looking like black lumps in it. And your customers will wondering why there's some black stuff in the food. So here the color won't be surprising for your customers. Here we are, finished. So that's done. You just need then to put the sauce on your fish. As you can see, the butter gives a very, very high brightness to the sauce. It's very shiny, and look at the bubble on it. It's something very, it's not heavy at all. It's very airy. I don't know the name in English. It's very light. I mean, the air in it gives it a very smooth texture. So that is called Hollandaise sauce. One of the main sauce for fish in France. You can use whatever you want. I mean, I put some water with my eggs. You can put apple juice, you can put apricot, you can put some meat stock, you can put whatever, tomato sauce, whatever you want. Then you make the emulsion, and then the butter is what is give the texture and the taste and the color of your sauce. So don't go off too high with the butter, with the eggs, and then whisk it properly, and that's very easy.
The most question that we always get, it's sent to me privately. It says, can we use ghee instead? We get this all the time.
Okay, so as I told you at the beginning, this is 100% dairy product made with natural way of doing it. I mean, cream, churn it, butter, easy, milk, cream, butter, finish. If you do ghee with butter, no problem. But when you're not using European or French butter to do it, it doesn't work as well. So I'm not specialized in ghee. But what I know is that when I show you that, it works with butter. Sure, with the rest, depending on what is inside. So you want to do ghee with European butter, and then send the picture and we will see if it works or not. But with ghee, some of the stuff you cannot do. Ghee is very good for Indian cuisine, for example, but when you cook in European way, we're not used to that. So with the butter, our cuisine is made to be done with butter. Use butter, no problem.
So I think we can suggest to our viewers, maybe you should try French butter in your Indian cuisine and see whether it works, and send us.
I'll tell you, I worked with an Indian chef in Bruxelles. She was coming from Bombay, and she was doing ghee with butter, and that was marvelous. I mean, she said that she's doing only with French butter because she had the ghee she's used to and this European cuisine twist in the food. So use it. Here on the screen, a reminder of what we just done. You see, it was very easy. Just a few things to remember: not overeat the eggs, and then you do the emulsion slowly by slowly with your whisk and put the butter on. But before you did some clarified butter, it's quite important. Do you have any other questions, Shanaz?
Not as of now, Chef. I'll take it with you as we go. You can go on to the next.
Okay.
You can go on to the
so the next is the main part of the plate, the salmon. we're going to confit the salmon. What is confit? It means we're going to cook on a very slow temperature in melted butter. Why do we do that? I will first take the melted butter out so you will understand. Okay, so my oven is on 70 degrees. And here you've got some butter. It's, as I put it on the 70 degrees, not too high, my butter separates and it makes, again, like clarified butter. In the butter, I put some juniper, some red pepper, chili, and some white pepper. You can give whatever, you can put whatever you want. You can put anise, cardamom, the stuff you like. You just need to give a little bit of spicy taste to your butter, because as butter is a very good flavor enhancer, it will give this taste to your salmon. Not too much spices, but be nice and slow. But I put that half an hour in my oven with the spices. So the butter took the good flavor of the spices, and then I will put my salmon in. So my salmon I've been salted before, and then just as simple as that. Look, put the salmon in, and when it works well, I'm a bit lucky now, it stays just say 1 millimeter out of the butter, because it gives you a little tiny pinky color, and it tells you this and another stuff that your salmon is cooked. My salmon is on 70 degrees on the butter. I put it back in the oven for, this one is small, so I think 10-12 minutes will do the job. So you take it and put it back in the oven. So what is happening in my oven? 70 degrees. The butter is working like, you know, bain-marie? When we work on bain-marie, we put some water on to do like a or stuff like that. The water takes the heat and then slowly put the heat through the salmon. So my salmon is cooking very, very slowly, very nicely. And as butter is 82% of fat, it's sealed, is around it. So nothing will go out of my salmon, or very little. So all the taste is inside, because I have to tell you that we say butter is a very good flavor enhancer. That is true, but flavor goes in two things: water and fat. When you cook something, the taste of the thing you're cooking goes in the fat and goes in the water. We've seen earlier that butter is an emulsion, water and fat. So when you put butter on something, you've got the whole taste of what you are cooking. We will do carrots later on. You'll see a very, very tiny little bit of butter, but it's changed the taste. Here, my salmon is cooking with a little bit of water, which is in the butter, and fat. So all the taste of the salmon is there. You will have something very, very tasty and very easy to cut, you see? Because as it's confit, it's cooked very, very, very slowly. So it's perfectly cooked, but you won't change the shape of the salmon. It won't twist, it won't burn, nothing. We are on 70 degrees there. Just one thing, when you work with butter, never go higher than 130 degrees. It's very important, because as you see, when we did that, stop noise, finish. If I carry on, I will be over 130, and then it starts to burn. So I don't want to burn butter, because burnt butter is not good. Butter is good when it's uncooked, lightly cooked, clarified, roasted, but when it's burnt, it's finished, you have to throw it. So never go higher than 130 degrees. It's very, very important. That's another figure you've got to remember when you work with butter. So my salmon is on, we put the spices, and we just now need to wait for it. So when you work for a lot of customers, you can do that. For a lot of customers, they will all be cooked the same. I mean, you put 100 salmon, you will remove the dish, you will have 100 salmon cooked exactly the same way. With the butter, because I go a little bit with the question, with the butter in the salmon, you can use it to make the sauce. We will go with it, because as you've seen when I put it there, it's almost like that. So I can use the sauce, which got a little taste of salmon and spices, to make my sauce. So this butter go in the sauce and go perfectly well with my salmon. That was how to confit salmon. Very easy, very quick to do, in fact. But the taste is amazing. And as you see, when you slice and you cut and you go through the salmon, the texture, it's just something you've never had in your mouth with fish. So this is because of the butter and the taste. Butter enhances the flavor so nicely that try that and tell me if you had the fish like that before.
So I have a really lovely question for you. I think many viewers will benefit from this. It's from Chef Roberto. He wants to know if you can use butter, do this confit method by sous vide, in sous vide. Now you're doing it in the oven, in open bowl. So can you do this in sous vide? How would it be?
Vacuum sealed, you mean?
Yes, yes.
Yes? Okay. Right. To be completely honest with you, because I'm now in chefs, now we give everything. I mean, everything we are doing, you ask, we give. That's exactly what I'm doing when I work in banquet. I put my salmon in the butter, but I twist it. I put my salmon in butter with a brush, and then I vacuum it, and then I cook it in the slow temperature heater. I don't know exactly the name in English. You can put on the half degree. So I put it on and I leave it to cook like that. It works perfectly well. Just one thing, remember you have to cook it flat, because if you cook it like that, the salmon on the bottom will be crushed like the one on the top. But vacuum, it works perfectly well. And you can make it like mise en place, and you put it in the to chill it very, very fast, speed frozen. You can use it the day after, it works perfectly well.
So Salama has a question. She says, will the salmon absorb all the butter? I think we will wait for her to see it when it comes out of the oven.
Sorry, Shanaz, I don't understand. Can you?
Yes, so Salama wanted to know if the salmon will absorb all the butter that you put it into.
Okay. Not at all. I mean, when I will remove the salmon from the oven, you will have the same amount of butter. Except when I take it out, there's a little bit of butter on this and that, but the salmon don't take the butter in. I mean, the butter here enhances the flavor of the salmon and avoid it to lose the water, the moist in it. But no butter go in the salmon, not at all. It's just around and make something nice and smooth to cook it, but there's no butter inside.
Okay, so what we can do now, Chef, is we'll show them the quick slide of the confit once, and after that we'll go and do a poll with them.
Okay, perfect. So as you see on your screen, it's exactly what we did. It's easy, it's quick, but it's something you cannot fail. I mean, you can leave it in your oven until it's perfectly cooked. You cannot fail on that.
Okay, so I'm going to do a poll now, and just a moment. And the question is, European butter can be cooked but cannot exceed.
That was the very important number I told you to.
Yes, but cannot exceed. Okay, so majority of the people, 80% say it's 130 degrees, and 10% each say that it's 100 and 110 degrees.
The good answer, 130. No higher than that, otherwise you start burning. So be always under 130, and you will have the best of the butter. On the next step, we're working on compound butter. Remember when we start this course, I told you there's different stage in butter. We've got our butter, I show you in my pan there. Then I'll show you clarified butter, roasted butter. I will show you another one, which is a very important one. We are using it quite a lot in cooking or in pastry as well, which is that one. This is ointment butter. I mean, the butter is uncooked, but you put it on close to something hot, so it starts not to melt, but to be soft. So I've got very soft butter. It's like ointment. It's very important for pastry making. When you want to brush your mold, use that. It's far better than melted liquid butter, because as you can see, it stays very well on the side of your mold. And here we're going to do compound butter. Another temperature, which is very important, actually probably the main important temperature to understand a lot of things in what you are eating, is 32 degrees. 32 degrees is the temperature around of that. I mean, butter starts to melt at 32 degrees. So when I'm like that, I'm a little bit under 32, but not much. Probably you had some croissant. You did eat some croissant sometimes, and croissant made with real natural butter. As I'm telling you, when you eat the croissant, the butter 32 degrees. As your mouth is on 37, the butter go very soft and melt inside, which just gives this smooth croissant in your mouth when you are chewing it. If you use substitute, most of the substitute melt at 40 degrees. So when you eat it, it stays like butter like that, and it won't never melt. I mean, it will stay hard all the time. So butter, and I did nothing for that. I mean, it's 100% natural. Butter melt on 32, which is just under the body temperature. So we will have something very smooth in mass. That's why I was telling you that all I'm showing you don't work quite well with substitute. Compound butter is that. So my ointment butter, beurre pommade, is already made. We will do a beurre maître d'hôtel. Very simple, few ingredients, but 2 tricks to remember. I just show the salmon. Okay, so I put my salmon out here. As you can see, I hope you see, here it looks like uncooked salmon. It's everywhere, it's pinky, and there is a bit more uncooked. I'm not quite sure you can see properly, but you've got some white stuff coming out of the salmon. It means it's cooked. Leave it in the butter out, because it's 70 degrees. I remember you, 70 degrees. Leave it like that for 5-10 minutes. Will nice and gently finish to cook and be soft, as I've seen you. Okay for that? Back on my butter. Remember, ointment butter, I will add on it some parsley, lemon juice, salt, a little bit of chili, remember, because of the black stuff. If my butter like that go back in the fridge, it will return to the strong, solid shape you had there. If I put my lemon juice in here like that, my lemon juice, as it's called, will cool it too much and my butter will go strong. So I will have to do something which is very easy. You take your lemon juice, microwave. I told you 32 degrees, so I have to be on 32, 35 degrees. Don't need to boil it, just 32, it's okay. Another thing we've seen together is that there's 82% of fat, dairy fat in my butter. If I put the salt straight on, there's not enough moist to melt my salt. So I will still add the little crunch of my sea salt. So I put the salt in my lemon. I put the pepper, chili in my lemon. You can hear that there's some like sound, and when the salt melts, finish. So it's salty, but you cannot add the crunch of salt. You just have the smooth of the butter. And then Here we go. As my lemon juice is warm, it's over 32. Look. Usually when I do it, I do a lot and I use my whisk. But I want to show you with a fork that how simple it is when you do the right thing in the right temperature. You see? Very easy. Okay, that's enough. Lemon juice. In fact, when you cook and you know the temperature and what will be the reaction of your food, it's very simple. If it's too hot, your butter will be liquid. If it's too cold, your butter will be solid. I just need the right temperature. You see, no more liquid. Very easy. Then I add my chopped parsley. Well, you can chop it fine or coarsely or whatever. I like it coarsely, but I like when I eat this butter on the top of my salmon, I like to add the parsley taste as well, not only the color. And that's it. So now it's soft and I can play with it. What you can do, you can put it in some dish and put it in the fridge. It will be come out again, and you can do like something you want with your spoon or whatever, or put it on the cling film, roll it, and then put in the fridge, and you'll be able to do a nice slice for your customers when you need it. Cling film, or you can use silicone mold and a piping bag, and you pipe it in silicone mold, keep it in the fridge, cling film. This kind of butter, you can keep it if there's nothing touching it. You don't take it out and back and back and back. You can keep it for a week, no problem. And as we were talking about sous vide, vacuum, you can do that and vacuum it. You can even freeze it because butter is so handy to use in the kitchen. The French butter is so easy to use that if you freeze it when you defrost, no problem at all. The butter will stay exactly the same because of the 82% of fat in it. So we just did cup and butter with lemon juice, salt, a bit of pepper, chili, and of course, butter and parsley. But you can do whatever you want. I mean, remove the lemon juice, put some little bit of vinegar, remove the parsley, put a little bit of shallots or a little bit of chives, and you will have something a little bit acidic you can go on the fish with. I remember I did butter with dates and pistachios. It was same way, lemon, orange, dates, pistachios, a little bit of honey, and we mix it. It was wonderful. Butter enhances the flavor, remember that. Whatever you will put on will be better. So use and play with it. It's very easy, as you see, very easy to do. On the screen, you've got what we just did. For once, what is written is what I did. So here we've got the recipe, and it's very, very, very easy. Remember, 32 degrees, and then I put my lemon in.
So, Chef, now
Yes.
we'll put out a poll for our audience to see how much they picked up about compound butter and temperature.
Yes.
And the question is, to make a compound butter, the filling must be cold at 10 degrees Celsius or about 32 degrees Celsius. Okay, once again, your audience has been very, very attentive, and this is an amazing audience you've got yourself, Chef. They all say it's about 100% say it's about 32 degrees.
I think I got the best one today.
Absolutely.
During the time they were understood well, they were answering and with perfect answer. to show for the question we had about how much butter was in the salmon. Look, here is my salmon, here is my butter. You know there's butter around there, but you put it on the little cloves to remove the butter, and there's no butter in the salmon, it's just around the salmon. You remove it slowly with the brush, and the butter is still there. And as you can see here, I hope you see, the color here is a little pinky, but it's just on the top. The rest of the salmon is perfectly cooked, and it shows you that it will be very, very moist. So if we can go on the next stage, or do you have any questions, Shanaz?
No, it's amazing. The learning that comes through is amazing. The importance of controlling temperature, not just of cooking, but also the ingredients you use. It's really lovely to see, Chef. It's lovely to learn. So yeah, we can go ahead now.
We go for the last one. The last one is glazing carrots. I choose carrots, but you can do with a lot of veg on the same texture of carrots. I mean, like artichokes, like zucchini, courgettes, like turnips, like what else? Celeriac, stuff like that. It's a way of cooking your vegetables. We need, how can I say that? We need very few ingredients for a lot of results. I mean, if you see my carrot there, it's shiny. It's very well done cooked. I mean, look, nothing to do than my fork or spoon, whatever, because it's cooked perfectly. The shape is a good one, and the taste is amazing. I explain you why. I just do 3 carrots because the rest is on the back, okay? You put your carrots on, very easy. Then you will add some water, and the important thing is that water is just here is my carrot, water is there. Because if I put on the camera, you won't see, but like that, water is just on the edge of the carrots. Then I'll add a little sugar, a little salt, and little butter, not that much. I mean, with that, it's enough. Then I will have to do something important for this recipe. I will have to cover it, but I'm not covering it with a lid. I will cover it with paper. So you do around with your paper. So into, again, and then up. The round is almost finished. Middle, there. This is wrong. This goes perfectly well in my pan. So I put it on, but as you can see, here it's not really on the pan. Here no, neither. Here neither. Here there's a little hole on it. With that, my water will be removed slowly, so it gives the time for the carrots to be well cooked. My sugar will melt in the water, my salt will melt in the water, and butter will melt as well. So now I start cooking it. Very easy. Very slow temperature. It's exactly the salmon. I want the veg to keep its shape. So we need to be on 95 degrees because veg cook on 95 degrees. And I leave it like that. For carrots like that, it will stay 20-25 minutes. So we're not there in 25 minutes, of course. It will cook like that. Water will be gone. The butter, the salt, and the sugar will melt on it. And after that, I know, it's like Steven Spielberg stuff, I know. But after that, here, my carrots are cooked, and what you've seen there, butter, water, sugar, and salt. Put it back on the heat, and we are going to glaze it to give it a shiny color. For the taste, as we cooked with water and butter, remember what I told you earlier, I've got the whole taste of my carrots, so I know my carrots is very tasty. Now I just need the color. I will remove the water and I will have sugar and butter, and sugar make a light caramel and butter gives a very shiny color. So I will make it shiny. What you see is water. In fact, every time you're cooking something and there's some foam like that, the smoke is water. There's only water who can go like that. Look, it's already shining, but not yet, not finished. I want no more liquid. I just need the sugar and the butter to go together on my carrots to glaze it. And as I cook it very slowly, the shape didn't move. And I can do like that, my carrot won't break. Okay. My carrot is glazed and we call it white glaze, glacé à blanc. It means it's shiny and no color, like that. You can see that? The carrot is very shiny. I put it on. But no color. I will carry on a little bit to give it a golden brown color. We call it brownly glaze, glacé à brun, brown glaze. So remember we said no more than 130 degrees? Here we are. If you are not, if you don't look carefully, it will burn very, very quickly. Here we are. My carrots are lightly brown. I can carry up a little bit if I want to, but I know that my butter here is starting to make caramel and it's a bit too high. If you want to carry on a little bit, just put some very little water and start again. I'll try to show you here. That is brown glazed. I mean, I put that on my carrots, and that will go with beef or duck or dark meat, or when you cook it, something you pan-fried something. When you cook it slowly like that, it's better to do white glaze. So I show you how to glaze carrots, dark, brown glaze, or white glaze. Remember that the flavor is enhanced by the butter and the shiny color is given by the butter as well. So two technical uses of butter, flavor and shiny. I think we can put the slide on if we don't have any questions. Because
just a quick question or two, Chef.
Yes, please.
Ramesh would like to know the difference between French butter and other butter that we get in the supermarket.
Okay, so First of all, remember I'm French, so the first answer I'm going to tell you is not probably a good one, but it's only because French butter is the best in the world. But I'm French, so okay. The other thing is our butter. How can I explain that? I live in north of France, and butter for me is something as natural as grass or trees or rain or whatever. Um, we cooked with butter since so many time that you cannot play with butter in France. I mean, if you say that's butter and it's not good, it will be very hard for you to stay in France. So our butter is very good because it's what we are used to eat. And our cows, I mean, they eat grass, they go in the mountains for some of them, they go close to the sea for others, which gives a different taste, different color in the butter. It's something very natural in France, and we use it that much that it's something in the landscape. I mean, for us, butter is part of the food in France, more than a lot of other things. So if our butter is so good, is that because every French is keen on butter. I mean, we love it.
And we have another question from Sula. Sula wants to know if she can mix a fruit juice and butter and use it to glaze fruit like pears or apples.
It works perfectly well. Do this with pears and apples, and if you do a bit more, they are very good audience today. You know what? They ask questions that some chefs never asked me, but
absolutely, today is an amazing group today.
Yeah. Okay, I wanted to show you how I use butter. If you want to go a bit further, you take what you are cooking. Here it's carrots. If you're talking about apples, okay, let's talk about apples. Make some apple juice, and instead of putting water, you put apple juice to cook your apples. Here, if I'm in the restaurant, I will cook my carrots in carrot juice. You know, I got an extractor to add some juice, and I cook them in carrot juice, not in water. And then you have the taste of the carrots. So with your pears or apples, make one. Don't buy apple juice or pears juice because it's too sugary. Make it, just extractor, one apple, and you put your apple cut in 4 or in 8, whatever, tac. The apple juice, a little bit of sugar, very small sugar. Taste one of your apple if it's very sugary or not. Then the butter, don't avoid using butter. It will make the whole difference. So real French butter, a little bit of salt, even if it's for a dessert, little bit of salt because it enhances the flavor as well. And do exactly what I did there, and you will have the best apple you will have in your life.
I'm just going to put on the slide for everyone to see the recipe and to see the method.
That's exactly, Shahnaz. You got the right word. It's a method. I mean, you can take carrots out and you can put baby onions, you can put beetroot, you can put celeriac. It's the method which is important.
It's the method, absolutely. And I think, when you use, sometimes if you use contrasting flavors with apple or pear, you can use a berry juice or you can use an orange juice.
Oh, yes. Orange juice with carrots work perfectly well.
Yeah. Okay, so we stop our slide presentation and you can do a summing up, Chef, for us.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it. We spent 45 minutes together working with French butter. We've seen how to make clarified butter, then we make a sauce, then we make confit salmon, capon butter, glazing vegetables. Please use any of this technique, work on it, play with it, make it to your taste, and try the butter. You will see it makes the whole difference. Your flavor will be different, the shine of your food will be different, and the taste will be very, very, very good. So use it. I hope you enjoyed it. And you were an amazing group. I mean, I've got all chefs in front of me now. So bye-bye and hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you all of you for attending our webinar on French butter. Today was like Chef said, it was a lovely and very interactive group. Today is our last webinar with Chef in this series for now. And Chef, I think everyone has really enjoyed what you've shown us. And we've got a lot of good reviews about the things that people have learned. Thank you very much for sharing all your knowledge with us. Look forward to seeing you at ICCA in Dubai and doing a hands-on class with French butter for our students over here. Yeah. Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you, Chef. And I would like to apologize. Looks like a lot of people have had connection issues. And I really would like to apologize, but from our side, the chef has been very clear to me and I can see myself very clearly. Yeah. So in live streaming, we do have to accept a little bit of disturbance now and then. Over to you, Karun. I'm just making you big. There you go.
Yeah. Thank you, Chef Christophe and Shanaz, for this interesting session. A quick note, you can download the butter stories from the handout section. Also, an email will soon follow with the replay video of this webinar together with the handout as well. Lastly, we encourage you to recreate or create dishes with French butter and share them on your social media platforms by tagging at butterstories.me, at ICCA Dubai, and at Chef Christophe as well. We look forward to seeing you for another exciting session on ICCA Live. Until then, goodbye from all of us here. Bye.
Bye.